Well, good evening, Everstrong family. Happy Friday, November the 14th. I hope this video finds that you are doing well and walking in God's glory. Well, we are back in the book of 2 Corinthians, and tonight we have the great pleasure of examining chapter 8. Now, if you would like to, you could summarize this entire chapter with be a cheerful giver. We're going to go ahead and look at verses 12 and 13, but before we get there, let's just examine that mentality, being a cheerful giver. Now, I know the truth is not everybody has the finances to be a giver. And while that is something that Jesus himself commanded us to do, it wasn't always fiscal. Often is the case, it was be someone who is willing to serve others, both saved and unsaved, friends or enemies, family or strangers. The reason why is because God called us to be servants of not ourselves, but the rest of the world, with a joyful, enthusiastic, and loving heart. So let's go ahead and take a look at verses 12 and 13, and we'll just examine them real quick before we close. Whatever you give is acceptable if you give it eagerly, and give according to what you have, not what according to what you don't have. Of course, I don't mean your giving should make life easy for others and hard for yourselves. I only mean that there should be some equality. This is important. Paul's not saying that we should put ourselves in a very, very rough spot to make others happy or to make others' lives easier. Ultimately, what he is saying is that no matter what we give, we should be cheerful and joyfully enthusiastic about doing so, because it is another act of service towards God's kingdom. And also, keep in mind, once again, this is not merely only about finances. What he's talking about is finances, yes, but the command of being a giver is also someone who gives time, who gives effort, who gives service. So if you're like me and my family, in times where you can recognize this is a time where we have no money to our name, then be someone who joyfully gives in acts of service. Be willing to talk to people. Be willing to see what their needs are and maybe see if you can try and meet them in their needs. But ultimately, the job, the responsibility, the great pleasure of a Christian is to seek out others and serve them with a joyful and enthusiastic heart. So, in closing, I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your evening, and I genuinely look forward to meeting you again in prayer. God bless you, and I love all of you.